Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a fully automatic castle gate. Now, as you can see in front of us, I've actually added some cool features, and I wanted to really make this not just a medieval castle gate, but the option to really design this any which way you want. So before I start explaining, let me show you how this works. Now, we're on the outside. Now, once you hit the button, the gate will open smoothly. And the cool thing is, it closes just as quickly, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. We want this to be a smooth transition between closing and opening without another glitch or hassles, pretty much. Now, I did add a light indication system on top to let you know when the doors are closed. And we also have this really cool locking mechanism. Okay? Now, once you lock that system up, or that lever, none of the buttons could work, meaning the door will never open no matter how many times you try. Now the cool thing is, it also works on the outside as well, which prevents anybody from really coming in or trying to break into your base that easily. Okay? Look at that, it's phenomenal. And the great thing is about this, that on the inside I wanted to make sure that the button to lock the system is right next to the button that opens the gate. So there's really no way for you to really miss that. Once you deactivate it and you hit that button, the gates will open once again just as smooth. Look at that, it's phenomenal. Now check this out, even at nighttime, that light indication system on top really makes a difference. Now the reason I like it there is really optional, is for the fact that it really prevents mobs from really spawning in front, and it really gives an indication where your front entrance is at, especially if you're just coming back from a long trip. So let me just show you the redstone behind it, and as you can see, it's quite simple. It's really not that complicated. I try to really condense this as much as possible because what I want to do is not really create a triple piston extension on both ends. See? What we simply have is some pistons on top and a double piston extension on the bottom. Now if you notice, there are pistons in the bottom right there. See, there's a piston that goes down and pretty much activates the silent T flip-flop. Now once we push that piston away with the lever, that's pretty much activating the other piston to push it away. Well, of course, it prevents any of the buttons from working because you need that to really activate that first piston in front of it. See right there on the side? See how that works smoothly? And it's that simple. That's the entire system itself. So this is the basic materials you're going to need. You will need a block of your choice, some half slabs, stairs, droppers, hoppers. You will need a few buttons, pistons, sticky pistons, redstone lamps, levers, redstone dust, redstone torch, repeaters, comparators, and of course some torch for lighting. Fantastic, guys. Now before we start this build, make sure you pause at this point so you can have your setup ready. Okay, we will be digging 4 blocks deep if you want to make this ground level, and we will be starting pretty much from the inside out. Now from this point, just place 2 blocks there. You're going to stretch that 15 blocks deep. Now bear in mind, if you guys want a smaller gate, of course you make this smaller, but we're going to do the max limit of 15 wide gate. And if you want to make it smaller, guys, like I said, just reduce the amount of blocks we're placing. Now once you've done that twice on both ends, place a block right there on top with a space underneath, and of course stretch that right across. Then you're going to place some torches right on top. Then place your block of choice for the ground level right there on top of it, right across. And you should have this kind of format at this point. Then I want you to place some repeaters going forward. You can delete that block and stretch it right across, okay? And then right behind it, you're going to lay down 14 pieces of redstone dust. You see, with that 1 block missing. Place 2 blocks there, delete the one underneath. Place a torch right in front of it. And at this point, you're going to place 3 blocks in the middle, a half slab on the side, delete the one in the middle, place a block right there. You're then going to place a repeater going towards that block a torch on top of that, redstone dust right there, and a comparator going forward towards that block. Place one dropper going upwards and a hopper going on top of it straight down as well. See? Now make sure you put one piece of dirt in that dropper, okay? Perfect. Now that's going to be the main control mechanism. Now at this point, place some blocks there, two more outwards, and you're going to create this nice little framework right around the entire system, you see? Perfect. Then what I want you to do is, right there on that block with a torch on top of it, place a piston right there. That's going to be a sticky piston, okay? And you're pretty much going to place some sticky pistons right across the entire row. Perfect. Now we're going to leave that blank for now, okay? So don't mess with that yet. Alright, so don't put nothing there at this moment. Now once you've done that, I want you to get your comparator, place it right there going towards that block, a space in between, and one going the opposite direction. Then place a drop there going forward, one in front of it going upwards, and one on top of it going the opposite direction, with one hopper going downwards. Now right there where the hopper is, right there, right underneath it, there's a dropper. You're going to place one piece of dirt right there. See, right there. Perfect. Then a block there, a space in between with some redstone dust, and 5 blocks upwards. And you're going to delete that one and place a torch, and that one as well, and place a torch going upwards. Place one piece of redstone dust there, and you're going to delete that block and place one torch underneath. Perfect. Hope that didn't get too confusing. I know that was a little a bit fast. Now at this point, you're going to place a half slab right there, a block in front, one on each side. Perfect. Then you're going to place that piston right underneath with a block on top. 2 on the side, delete that, and a piston right there. And you're going to leave that block right there on the side. So you should have this kind of format. Place some redstone dust on top, 3 right across, and 1 in the middle. Now, like I was saying earlier, make sure you place a block on that piston, okay? There's going to be both sticky pistons. So make sure you have that kind of format before you even go forward. Then you can place a restaurant there, which is optional, and a block of your choice on the side. Place a lever there and a button right there. Now, of course, that lever is going to remove that piston from being activated. See? Now, right here on top, now you're going to place another row of sticky pistons, and of course, your block of choice right on top of it. Perfect. Then once you hit the button, you should get a full double extension going up and down smoothly. Look at that, it's perfect. Now place 3 blocks up, delete the 2, and place some pistons underneath. Now you're going to stretch that pistons right across, and you want to make that parallel to the pistons underneath, you see? Now those ones on top are going to be regular pistons. Now you're going to place some blocks right on top, right across, with some redstone dust on top of that as well. Fantastic. Now we're going to cover this up, alright guys? So place some blocks of your choice on the side. And you're going to place it here as well. Awesome. Alright, now I want you to get your repeater, place it right there going forward. And you're going to place a half slab in front, a block there, a half slab there. Delete that. And at this point, you want to place a torch on top of that block with a block on top. And there's a few ways you can set this up. Now, you can put a half slab there and just kind of connect it upwards, which is fine. Or you could do it this way. You could place a half slab right there, delete that as well. Place one there and a block right there on top in front of it. See? Which is my personal favorite because it kind of looks a little neater and it just looks a little better. Now I know the other way is not too bad, but just really depending on how much space you really want to compress and what you really want to do with it. Now of course, once you hit that button, you're going to notice right away it's going to close with ease. Look at that, that is awesome. Now once you have your ground level, you should be looking at something similar to this format. You see? Perfect. Now this time, at this point guys, the design is complete. Now you can really design this any which way. Now from here on out, I'm going to show you how to make that kind of castle medieval style that I've showed you earlier from the beginning of the video. Now you want to place some stairs right across in front of the pistons and some redstone lamps right on top. Then place some blocks right across on the top part. And bear in mind guys, whatever we do on one side is going to be repeated on the other side. Then you're going to place some blocks there. And what you want to do right now is pretty much create a wall. Okay. So we're just going to cover this up on both ends. And just kind of create this nice little wall pattern on both sides. Okay. Now remember guys, feel free to pause at this point because I'm just going to time lapse this just a bit. Now once you're done, you should have this kind of layout. Then over here, around this area, you're going to place a block there and some smooth stone going upwards with a block on top. Well, stone brick right on top. Then you're going to leave a 3-block gap and repeat the same exact format. You see? Now I like to keep everything symmetrical, so what I've done is I've actually made a 4-block gap from the gate. So we're going to count 4 blocks from this point and place a stone brick there, and of course create that same exact style. Now count 3 more, place a block there, and of course you're pretty much repeating at this point. Now I want you to do the same format on the opposite end. Okay? And before you do that, make sure you add some stairs right across like so. And you're going to wrap that around each bottom part. You see? Now me personally, I like to wrap it pretty much all around. You know what I mean? Add some there, just stretch that right across. Add some stairs there, there. And just pretty much make this really nice foundation. Fantastic. Now once you've done that on both sides, right on top of here, I want you to place a piece of any type of wood that you like right across. And then once again, you're going to repeat the same format on the top part as well. Now we're going to stretch this from one end straight across down to the other because we've got to cover that wood on top. Now guys, you can use any kind of wood plank that you feel comfortable using. Perfect. Now at this point, I want you to place some half slabs right in between on both ends. And we're going to repeat that on the other end as well. So place some half slabs there and there just to pretty much make a nice solid ground. Then you're going to place some blocks right there on both corners. And there, and leave a gap right in between, you see? Now let's repeat that on the other end. 1, 2. And you pretty much get the gist at this point. It gets pretty much very repetitive from this point. Now because this is a 15-block wide wall, you want to go straight down about 8 blocks, and number 8 will be the center. Now place a block there. And from this point, I want you to leave a gap and do that same format to lead up to the center. See? The center and a few more blocks right across. Now, of course, in that gap, place a cobblestone fence. And you shouldn't have this kind of look at this point. I mean, you want to create this as medieval as possible. Now, just to add a little more detail to it, I like to delete this part in the center and repeat this on both sides. Okay, so we're going to delete all that and repeat that over here as well. Let's knock that out. And I want you to add an upside down stairs on top and on the bottom as well. You see? So add some stairs there, one on top. And you're going to create this really nice solid windows. Now, I would normally add this just for detail, but in between you want to add some cobblestone fence. And trust me guys, it's really going to bring out the gate way more than you really expect it to be. So let me do this on this side. Now once we repeat that on the other side, you're going to have this awesome gate in front of you guys. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you could please leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you.